Reclamation. Fierce heads carved with vigilant gaze guard my shoulders in this chair. Survivor of a Victorian world. The Mayflower van rumbled across the continent with a few other relics salvaged from my childhood. Cedar chest and 2 small tables my father built, dressing mirror from grandmother's boudoir, gaming table like one I saw at Monticello. A refugee in this Oregon house from a life I think I've shrugged off, this chair calls to me from exile in the spare bedroom. I'm a survivor too, raised with romantic tales of past privilege. I used to believe those heads could speak to each other in the dark. I sit here by the window, listening to whispers at my shoulders from this throne-like chair draped with sheepskins. I pay my history the respect it deserves and welcome my muse. Virginia history. My grandmother served me soup in Chinese bowls with royal dragons, chipped relics of a gift from the emperor to her uncle, the admiral. I'd eat my Campbell's tomato rice while she relished recollections of her heyday in Culpeper. She'd been a great beauty. Her schooling abundant with proper French, but short on bookkeeping and responsibility. She saw Vivian Lee in the mirror and worshiped the goddess Elizabeth Arden. Grandpa died 2 weeks after the crash, and she tore through what was left like the ribbon at the end of a sprint. Not to worry, a head so pretty, she sold the baby grand and bought a squirrel coat, bought a Cadillac and lost the farm while silverfish roamed the Persian carpets. By the time I came along, she was spent, living on the dole from her kids. It was a stuffy apartment full of dusty antiques, piles of newspapers, and Harper's Bazaar. Philodendrons wound around the kitchen window above the dishes piled in the sink. This grandchild didn't judge her bushy dye or baggy slacks. The only time I made her angry, I melted my crayons down the radiator. We went to see Gone with the Wind at the Buckingham Theater, where its banner of penguins promised it's cool inside. On humid summer nights, she'd brush my hair to put me to sleep. I'd wake pressed to the cool plaster next to her Hollywood bed. After she bequeathed her last treasure to me, the diamond appraiser looked up and said, "I'm afraid it has a flaw." Independence, 1962. I'm on my own. I'm grown. I was 22. My own paycheck, car, apartment, a continent away from Virginia ladies who don't drive the car alone at night, date non-Episcopalians, swear, fight, or go to church without a hat. Here in California, I drive myself to work at night. From 11 to 7 on the psych ward, the black tech tells the sheltered Lily White about his life. He spells it out, 4 letters at a time. I date Jewish psychiatrists. I do as I feel. Spend my money as I please. Toss virginity away like an orange peel. And then I found the gardener of my heart. I was a morning glory seed when we met, with a tough coat, afraid to germinate and loosen the tightly crimped leaves. Directions on the packet say, take a knife and nick the edge. Vulnerability has a price. Then growth may begin. You opened the way with love and tenderness. Burst from my encasement, I feel myself climbing, dare to blossom. Tendrils flow with joy. I would embrace the world. Now let's fast forward 15 years. In the Walnut Street house, there's a football game on the TV, and there's band practice on the 3rd floor, and I'm out back with the dog writing in my journal. To my friend who says she has no secrets, my guess would be that you live in a house without men. I live with 3, my mate and 2 tall sons. I wheel through their universe, a blood-warm space station whose mysteries turn love into milk and flesh. Their sweat and bones are mine, but they are men. They shoot lightning bolts through my life, rattle the walls with their hungers, sponge me up like a coffee spill. Without my private space, I'd be steamrolled into a parking lot. Here, underground, I'm a glacier, shifting and creaking with the earth's rhythms. My friend used to be a depressed housewife. Today, she rode up in a camper with her new lover and a small dog they picked up on the beach. She's crazy in love, flushed with 2 weeks rolling rapture. She took her life and shook it like a rug. The pieces will be coming down for years. She'll have hell to pay. But today, she said I looked a little pale before she rode off down the Rainbow Road. Through the ringer, I wondered, would he do it again if he had the life? Take me to dinner, to bed, to wife? Would I go? All those years less encumbered, knowing all I knew, would it be so easy to take a different track to today? Was I still the girl he married, or not her anymore? Or just that years and change agitate like an old Maytag machine? With a knocking in the motor, there is no warranty. Unlike the promised whiter wash, a long time coming serenity. After years of feeling chained to the rock pile, I see a work of art taking shape before my eyes. It's been there all along, hanging in the rock, while we clumsy rodents chip away, leaving broken bits and sweat all over the floor. This life together is a beauty. Rejoice, we didn't smash it. Season tides, 2 takes on passion. The northern flicker on my roof has spring coursing through his birdie heart. On the metal chimney cap, resonance of beak on steel broadcasts a staccato invitation to any feathered prospects. He also likes the stucco under the eaves, a more mellow sound announcing his softer side. Bits of my house are strewn in the yard from his drilling. He fashions a nesting spot in the wall while I peer from the window, willing his fervor to another house or tree. I'm no stranger to this bird's April tide of desire. These days, though, a September current flows for me and my mate. Contentment deep and slow in the waters of familiar touching. While the world beyond arches and struts, here where the bittern calls, ook-a-look, we bump along past the reeds, old rowboats of romance, heavy with history, softened from so long in the water, gliding by the shore. And then, really blessed with granddaughters. Theology. Good as August blackberries, strong as the current in the Mackenzie, two little girls are discovering beauty in the sunlight on a spider web, delight in the eyes of a friend. On their journey, they will meet kindness as small as a door held open, as huge as forgiveness. The slap of cruelty will find them, intentional as a lie, accidental as cutting a cut while slicing an apple. There will be loss, simple as a hole in the pocket, certain as death. The gifts I want for them don't come in a prayer book. They're carried within. I want them to trust their bell of intuition to guide them on the balance beam of yes and no. Their palette of imagination to color even dark days. And most of all, the filaments which connect us to each other, to the sparrow, the rain, the trees, the stars. Sharing at Poetry Group. I submit my dimpled baby for an exam. Her cord stretched, but intact. She's been safe in the bassinet of my journal. Under bright gaze, webbed fingers, extra toes, scales, and florid birthmarks are exposed. I recite her lullaby through the night. By morning, I dream she's become a heavy-muscled snake. Sleek coils resisting my efforts to wrestle her into a box. She's too damn big. November conversation. That night, death curled like a house cat in the wedge of light beyond the corner of the eye. The women spoke of choices we make about the body and promises to friends and kin. We shared stories of packets of ash lost in the mail or blown back in the face in a windy field. Freddie kept Aunt Lois in her closet for a year. The urn sat in stony rebuke above her blouses, waiting for the day she'd get around to the drive to the Dalles. We pondered the simplicity of shovel and shroud. No, we're bound for recycling, either by the soft relaxation of the earth or the quick finality of fire. As honest as we try to be, it always feels like a discussion about someone else. Each of us snug in our attachment to her own pulsing and the soft purring in the air. Intruder. The intruder insinuated itself into our days, made a nest, and waited. It's been suspended in our midst while we take airplanes, take out the trash, make plans for dinner, make love, as if our book has numberless pages. Now discovered, death has a name that cannot be ignored. The big C conjures devastation, a standard with skull and crossbones, the fouling of sacred ground. It's become an intimate companion, every conversation, every meal. It curls at the foot of the bed, begs at the table, follows us down the road. It insists upon teaching us what to nourish, what to discard.
Could you please start that one on the app? Let's start it over.
How about I start right up here?
Whatever you want.
Yeah,
What?
I missed some.
Okay.
Yeah, just read it again, that's good.
The intruder. The intruder insinuated itself into our days, made a nest, and waited. It's been suspended in our midst while we take airplanes, take out the trash, make plans for dinner, make love, as if our book has numberless pages. Now discovered, death has a name that cannot be ignored. The big C conjures devastation, a standard with skull and crossbones, the fouling of sacred ground. It's become an intimate companion, every conversation, every meal. It curls at the foot of the bed, begs at the table, follows us down the road. It insists upon teaching us what to nourish, what to discard. It demands that all be reviewed, put in a new order, not postponed or taken for granted, even regrets. We go for a walk, find a note pinned to a tree. It says, "This life has an end. Change is coming. This treasure house you live in will fall away. First one of you will die and then the other. Life here will go on without you and you will be forgotten. Don't miss a moment. Cherish everything." My cape. It's ankle length with fur and satin trim, worn patches and plenty of stains, deep folds and hidden pockets, some with treasure, dried tears. It warms and protects. Now men glance with a quick, polite smile, not like they once did. A clever disguise, old woman with heavy belly, ruined thighs, keeps a lot out of the way. White hair makes me invisible. The thunderbolts are hidden. Silk lining, creased with secrets, promises, Nubian spots with doubt and fear. When the chill mist creeps, it can reach across your shoulder. We can rest warm for a while. as a slice of pastry on a plate. I dreamed a friend not seen for 30 years. She smelled of almonds, her bright wing of hair, the entire universe of her from 1967 served up. My mind's cogs have lost some teeth. Index cards of names stick in the wrong files. Donna stepped down from her hippie bus to remind me of a memory hallway where friends wait, fresh as this morning. Behind some of its doors are rooms full of names. They bob on the ceiling like escaped party balloons. Also, many poems are perched along the windowsill. Thank you all.